Santa Fe County officials next week began a series of public meetings about a new ordinance they'd like to see put in place. At issue is overall development in the county. A piece of that ordinance has already been passed by the county commission. That piece covers oil and gas drilling, and it covers it from a development point of view, not necessarily a regulatory scheme. The issue now is whether to have a 6-month moratorium on land divisions in the county until the new overall ordinance is written. The County Commission has had several failed attempts to have a public hearing on that question. That's part of the reason behind the upcoming public hearings. They say they want to get citizens involved in the process. But county officials said the same thing last year when the question of oil and gas drilling first came up. Ask any number of people, and you'll probably hear that the public interaction desire was not at all successful. But that was then. This is now, following the election of 2 new county commissioners. KSFR's Marion Cox has just had a meeting with one of the new commissioners, Kathy Holian. Marion is on the line. Marion Cox, you say it was a pretty good meeting, and you're sensing a new, more open attitude at the county building?
Yes, we interviewed Kathy Holian this past week. It was a wide-ranging interview talking about many of the things going on in Santa Fe County right now, particularly as it relates to comprehensive plan update, oil and gas regulation development ordinances, and the growth management component of the county's comprehensive plan.
Now, the county residents were promised a great deal of transparency when the whole issue of oil and gas drilling came up. The promise was to involve everyone in every step of the way. Did that happen?
Well, based upon KSFR's look at the situation and covering the story from the beginning, we found there to be, at the beginning of the process in particular, a troubling lack of transparency and openness. We did attend some of the workshops that occurred in July. We did try to interact with both county staff and the paid consultants, Robert Freilich and Planning Works. And while we were successful in getting one taped interview with someone from Planning Works, by and large we raised a number of questions about what the public involvement process was and how public comments would be incorporated into the ordinance itself, and there was a telling lack of answers to the questions we were raising.
And that led you and us to say, well, what's happening in other places that are like Santa Fe County, similar in size, similar in issues? And you did a study on that.
That's right. Following those July workshops, in early August, we took a very careful look at both Boise, Idaho, and Grand Junction, Colorado. Both of those jurisdictions had either undergone or were in the process of undertaking very similar planning efforts to the city of Santa Fe County. And we found that on almost any objective measure of comparison, Santa Fe County simply did not measure up at all. It ranged from prior notification of meetings to having fact sheets available, to having agendas available to people, to having meeting minutes, to even requiring or asking people to sign their name when they showed up at a public event so that they could be on a mailing list. On all of those fronts, Santa Fe County either had nothing going on or had such a minimal effort that it wasn't something that was even comparable to what was going on in other jurisdictions.
That improved a little bit after the first draft of the ordinance was written, the oil and gas ordinance, and then that was passed by the commission, and it got a lot of plaudits by county residents. Fast forward to right now, the next step the county is taking is an overall development ordinance, of which oil and gas is a part. And what's happening with that in terms of involving the community?
The county is involved in a very major comprehensive plan update activity. The first component of that plan update was the development of an oil and gas ordinance, because the current comprehensive plan doesn't have any mention of oil and gas, and therefore, without any kind of ordinance on the books, the county would have no ability to regulate or in any way control oil and gas. Now the county has moved to the second important component of the overall comprehensive plan update activity, which is what the county is calling its growth management plan. And the county's been divided into 4 planning jurisdictions, and beginning this coming week, The county will be aggressively reaching out to the public, at least according to Commissioner Holian. They will be conducting a number of public workshops, inviting the public to contribute their ideas about what they want Santa Fe County to look like in the next several decades.